Welcome back. We'll pick up the action here in game 2. Andrew Devine 1-0 up against Aaron Biddle, but I can't see Aaron being so easy in game 2 to just walk over.
No, I mean, he stumbled a little bit, got a little bit choked on resources in game 1, so we might see him come back into this game a little bit. I think that the matchup is slightly favoured in Andrew's direction just because of the sheer quantity of threats he can put on the table, but Aaron does have a metric boatload of removal.
Both are happy with their hand.
I think Andrew was saying there, is this a dodgy keep to the camera? See, Aaron's also following up Ross Silcock with the old tons of shinies in his deck as well.
Aaron's just going to cycle a charm in response to the voice.
Yeah, we might see Pillar of Flame from Aaron out of the sideboard if he suspects Voice of Resurgence.
Well, he definitely saw it.
He saw it game 1, so he's got to assume there's 4 in Andrew's deck after sideboarding, even if there weren't pre-sideboarding.
Is it going to be the perfect start here from Andrew?
If he's got a Smite to turn 3, no 3-drop. I think if he had a Smiter to follow up there, that would have been just about perfect as far as the start goes.
Aaron's going to want to cast his spells at sorcery speed now.
I don't think that's going to bother him a huge amount. I'm not even sure he'd keep that much in the way of counter magic in post board. So interesting for those who are new to playing control decks, how that a lot of the time it is just correct to take your counter spells out post board, especially against the more aggressive decks.
Well, counter spells fundamentally are there for dealing with cards you can't deal with otherwise. So particularly like when you're playing against combo, they resolve their spell, they whip.
Yeah. Whereas there are so many spells in a Naya deck or something similar where it's just like, if this resolves, you know, and you don't deal with it, I win. And with a card like Cavern of Souls in the format as well, it just
aggro players have always been able to sneak spells through. You know, you can generally only counter 1 or 2 spells a turn tops.
Yep. And Aaron does indeed wipe the board with a Supreme Verdict, leaving Andrew with a 1-1 elemental. Can't imagine it's going to stay 1-1 for very long. In fact, it's going to be 3-3. Huntmaster, one of the more annoying cards for a control deck to deal with.
Yeah, you have very few ways of actually stopping it from flipping.
Yeah, it's also the fact that it presents 2 threats to you as well. More if it starts flipping backward and forward. Well, Aaron just going into the tank a little bit here, just wondering what he's going to do.
Obviously, he's worried about another Supreme Verdict.
Yeah, I mean, with 6 mana up, if he passes the turn for Sphinx's Revelation, the Huntmaster's going to flip, so that's going to be that's going to sort of negate any advantage he gets from Sphinx's Revelation, and that's Blasphemous Act from Aaron. So looks like he's boarded into the old extra wraths. Andrew taking 2 there, even though he's on pretty decent life total, and that's Rurik Thar. Now, not a card that you see a huge amount of in these games, but he is a 6/6 with Vigilance and Reach, and he has to attack every turn if he's able to. And if an opponent plays a non-creature spell, that opponent takes 6. So Aaron's taking 6, come what may here.
Do you want to take 6 or take 6?
Yep. Rurik Thar is in fact unbowed. He does not bow to spells. And he is going to bow to this one, but he's going to take 6 on his way out. Turn and burn from Aaron there, and trigger still resolves, so take 6.
Yep, the trigger resolves before he gets turned into a featureless creature.
Yeah, before he gets humbled. Andrew just creating a huge sort of mountain of lands there going on, just piling them one on top.
We're seeing a bonfire for 3.
I don't think Aaron's going to be too concerned at that. If that's the best that Andrew can muster on 7 mana, I don't think he's going to be too upset about that.
You have to be worried when your opponent taps 7 mana though, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure that Andrew plays Angel of Serenity, but that could have been quite hairy.
In fact, that's probably one of the weakest plays you can do with 7 mana when your opponent's got no creatures on the board.
Well, he can pick up his own creatures with the Angel.
Lightning bolt you for 7.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Feels a bit worse than the original. I mean, Andrew does have a few cards in hand here. I'm just trying to get a look at what he's got in there. Well, Cavern of Souls and Boros Reckoner. Passes the turn, and Aaron has another Sphinx's Revelation here. Well, has a Sphinx's Revelation here, so he's going to draw 3, gain 3.
Well, he didn't name
Human.
didn't name anything important with his Boros Reckoner to stop it from being countered.
More than likely Angel on the Cavern. So Aaron now with a fistful of cards. He's got to be feeling okay, at least being on 9 life.
As long as he starts doing something.
That's not what this deck's about. It's about doing nothing. It's about laying lands and doing nothing. I was wondering, has Aaron managed to brick on drawing a land in that many cards? And we saw Ross Silcock yesterday managing to brick on drawing non-land in that many cards.
Again, Aaron's hoping that bending the cards will turn them into good ones. If he stares at them long enough.
Oh no, I don't know how much foils bend these days. They used to be quite bad for that. Could tell the guy who had an all foil deck it was all bent.
Maybe you can win the game by making your opponent fall asleep.
I don't think Andrew will do that. He'll amuse himself while Aaron's thinking. There we go. Just adjust the play mats a bit. That's
He's trying to find things to do desperately.
yeah. I'll just read my 6/6 that just dealt you 6 damage.
So it must be good then if you had this long of a think.
Well, it's a full power turn and burn on the Reckoner. If Andrew does have a Restoration Angel here, Aaron's in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, that's going to crush him completely, a Restoration Angel.
But it looks like Andrew doesn't have it, so... and yeah, Aaron did miss land in that, so I think he was casting that main phase to avoid having to discard. I think he's signifying a bit there that he hasn't, he hasn't got much counter magic left in post board.
I always like the way people start messing with the land.
Yeah. Domri for Andrew Devine.
Almost giving away what they're going to cast by the amount of land
I love
set to one
how
side.
I love how Andrew almost put that Voice of Resurgence into his hand and then was just like, oh yeah, I've got to reveal it, haven't I? So it made it about halfway into his hand before he realised he had to reveal it.
I believe that's a game loss if he had done that.
Yeah, if he had done that, it would have been a game loss. Aaron just rearranging his lands into these produce blue, these don't. And Reckoner from Aaron. Again, makes attacking a little bit of a worse prospect from Andrew Devine. Although Andrew does have that Gavany Township there, so if he has nothing to do, he can just sit on the township for a bit. And given the fact he has Restoration Angel in his deck, he can always just bluff the Angel, and he's always got something to do in the case that Aaron decides not to give him a window of opportunity. So 3 mana, another Reckoner? Oh, Oblivion Ring. So it's in play, and he's going to attempt to take the Boros Reckoner, and Aaron does have a Restoration Angel of his own to save the Reckoner. He does give Andrew an Elemental through doing that, though. Again, don't think that Aaron's going to be too bothered really about that. He's definitely ahead on board now. Oh, that Gavany Township could change things very quickly. I think Aaron's got to find a way to deal with things as best as he can at this point.
That's really the problem Aaron's been having over both of these games. He's had the answers, it's just that they've been in his hand rather than being cast.
I think that's the problem with this blue-white deck overall. If it does have, if it does have a major problem, it's the fact that it can establish a pretty decent semblance of control, but actually killing its opponent does take a while.
It seems to me that the deck was built to deal with mid-range decks, because it seems that Aaron's deck doesn't really cast more than one spell a turn. It seems to tap a lot of mana every single turn to just take out whatever it is he wants to deal with.
Yeah, possibly. And so we've got Dubs Boros Reckoner for Aaron here. So what are we looking at now? Snapcaster Mage, what's he targeting? He can actually cast that Blasphemous Act. It looks like he's... is he mulling it over?
Is he just going to try and kill Andrew right here if he can?
Yeah, he's just going to go for the one shot, 26 to you. And Andrew's counting. That better be a way to kill a Reckoner in your hand, Andrew. Nope, one shot, pow.
So Andrew can't deal with the 26 damage to the face, and we are going to go to a decider.